Kia ora koutou. Here we are at Ngā Kuhi, Part 3, Ngā Pīmuri. In this video, I'll be introducing you to some common word endings or suffixes in te reo Māori. Here are the pīmuri that we'll be looking at in this video. I'll be talking about each of these in some detail and giving you some examples of how they work in a sentence. After that, I'll show you some examples of kupu that use both pīmua and pīmuri together. Let's start off with these two, pīmuri, ngā and anga. You might have noticed by now that all the pīmuri end with ngā, and these two are no exception. We'll start with haere, which means to go. When we add the suffix ngā to it, we get haerenga, which is a journey or a trip. What the suffix has done is it's changed the word haere, which is a tūmahi, or an action word, into a tūingoa, or a noun. When nouns are created this way, they're called derived nouns. Here's another one. Tika, which means correct or right, becomes tikanga, the correct way to do things or the correct procedure. And here's our sentence. The next example is using anga. We'll start with the tūmahi noho, which means to sit, and then by adding anga to it, we get noho anga, which is either a seat or a place to live. And here are the sentence examples. Ko tō taua haerenga tuatahi tērā ki hapani. E kōrero te kaiako e pāna ki ngā tikanga o te marae. And the last one, I hoko au I aua nohoanga hau mō te ruma hui. The next pīmuri is hanga. This has the same effect as ngā and anga when it's added to the base word. Changes tiro into tirohanga. Again, its effect on the base word is changing the verb into a noun. Our next example is tangi, which means to weep or mourn, becomes tangihanga. And the last one, riro, which is to receive or gain, becomes rirohanga, which is a possession. Pause the video if you'd like to have a read through these sentence examples. The next pīmuri are hanga and manga. Both of these affect the base word in the same way. All of these pīmuri change a verb or an adjective into a noun. And here are some examples. Tomo, to enter. Tomo kanga, entry. Ako, to teach or learn. And ako manga is a classroom or a place of learning. There's a couple of examples here to show you how these kupu can be used in a sentence. The last pīmuri are ranga and tanga, and here are some examples. Ako, to teach or learn. Ako ranga is a lesson. Tiaki is to care for or look after, and tiakitanga is care, guardianship or protection. I've included some sentence examples here for you as well. The last thing I'd like to show in this video is a couple of examples where we can use multiple kuhi in a single word. Here's the pīmua and the pīmuri that we talked about in the last few videos. And here's our first example. We'll start with the word whānau, which, as we know, means family. Let's add the pīmuri ngā to it to make it whanaunga, which means a relation or a relative, someone we're related to. You'll notice when we did that we no longer have the tohu or the macron over the a. Now let's add the pīmuri tanga to make whanaungatanga. Now we have a relationship. Let's add our pīmua, whaka, to whanaunga, to make whakawhanaunga, which is to build a relationship. And the last one, we're going to add our pīmuri tanga back in, and now we have whakawhanaungatanga, the process of building relationships. One more example, starting with haere, which means to go, but it can also mean progress. When we add whaka to it, we make whakahaere, which means go, but it also can mean to organise. Now if we add the pīmua kai to it, it makes it kai whakahaere. We have the one doing the action, which is the organiser. This kupu can also be used for a manager or a director. Nā reira, that's all for now about ngā kuhi. I hope you found this video helpful and that you have a clearer understanding now of how ngā pīmua and ngā pīmuri work and how they change the meanings of base words and how they work in a sentence. Ka nui te mihi kia koutou katoa. Hei ko nā.